Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, Mr. Israelite. Letting y'all know, letting all the people know that it's real life out here in these streets. Picking it back up with our real, true Target stories, man. That last one hurt my feelings. That last one, man, cut deep. Not cool, bro. We gotta do better. Ladies, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. All right. We're gonna pick back up with Target story number 3, man. If it's anything like the last one, seems like it's getting worse. It's one more after this too, so we gonna see. All right, let's go.
Target was the worst place I ever worked at. But it isn't Target's fault. I had recently graduated from college and got a new apartment with an old friend of mine, but I couldn't.
Oh no. This was the last one.
When I was 15, I lived really close to a
There we
Target.
go.
My parents didn't have a lot of money, and I was able to walk there by myself. So that's where I bought
Actually,
most.
let me make this easier on myself.
It in a heartbeat, knowing Samantha would never be
We're
able
gonna
to find
cut
me
all
again.
of that. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, click.
When I was 15, I lived really close to a Target. My parents didn't have a lot of money, and I was able to walk there by myself. So that's where I bought most of my clothes. It was fun to go there with friends whenever they happened to be hanging out at my house, but I went shopping by myself a lot. My parents didn't approve of that, but I always thought what they did.
Shouts out to bro for, not making the character busty. I was starting to think he was a little bit pervy. Playing all these characters who calling in and writing in scurvy. But this one right here, this one is worthy to rock the jersey of a not busty woman. She can actually fit in her, what's that called? She got a sweater vest on, people. Shouts out to bro for toning it down a little bit.
Didn't know wouldn't hurt them. If that's where I bought most of my clothes. It was fun to go there with friends whenever they happened to be hanging out at my house, but I went shopping by myself a lot. My parents didn't approve of that, but I always thought what they didn't know wouldn't hurt them. If I had time after school before they got home from work, I liked to sneak a quick trip to Target. One day I had gotten out of
First
school
off,
early,
I'm sorry.
so I had almost
I
4
know
hours
y'all
to
want to get into the story, but why she walking like that, though? First off,
they happened to be hanging out at my house.
she got this
but I went
crazy
shopping by
limp.
myself a lot.
It makes me
My
think
parents
she
didn't approve
kind
of
of
that, but I always thought
See
what
it?
they didn't know wouldn't hurt them. If I had time after school before they
See
got
it?
home from work, I liked to sneak
Crazy.
a quick trip to Target.
She might be crazy.
One day I had gotten out of school early, so I had almost 4 hours to myself. I blew off my homework and went straight to Target. I wore my headphones and listened to music. It felt good to block out all the noise of the world.
You gotta
And it
keep
helped
one
to keep
ear
people
off.
from trying to talk to me while I was relaxing from the day. When I got to Target, the old greeter lady waved at me to say hi without talking to me. I thought it was funny that we had seen each other so many times, yet we had never once actually spoke. In fact, I recognized many of the employees at the store, and they might have recognized me too, but I never talked to any of them. I would say the normal hello and thank you through my headphones at checkout, but that was it. Going to Target alone wasn't a social experience. It was a time for me to shop and use whatever small amount of money I had to get a new top or a new pair of jeans. It was me time.
Do you got 4 hours worth of money?
But of course, someone had to ruin it. I was at the shoe rack looking for a new pair of flats when I noticed a man on the other side of the rack trying to talk to me, waving his hand into view. He was short and chubby, maybe in his mid-30s, with a scraggly neckbeard and a receding hairline. I ignored him at first, hoping he would get the message and go away, but he persisted. I gave in and took out my headphones to ask him if he was talking to me. He said he was, and he wanted to point out that I looked a lot like his daughter. I didn't know how to respond. I couldn't even tell if it was supposed to be a compliment. After hesitating for a second, I finally just said thanks without giving him much positivity to go off of. Then I put my headphones back in and went back to what I was doing. That's when he had the nerve to reach over the rack and tap me on the shoulder. I took my headphones out again, making it quite clear that I was irritated with him. But he was smiling like we had just hit it off. Then he asked me how old I was. I replied with 14, sternly enough to make it an obvious reason to stop talking to me. It didn't take. His response was actually sickening. He said it was a wonderful age for a girl, but not so much for boys. As I was stunned for a moment, he went on to explain himself unprompted. A girl my age was at the cusp of womanhood, but still had the innocence of a child. That's what he said. Before I could come up with anything to say, he asked me my name. I immediately gave him a fake name, Madeline.
You doing too much talking. First off, parents, this is way too much talking. We still talking? What is we talking about? Teach your kids better than this. It's time to get out of here. Okay, bye. And if he keep following you, find security. Who raised you?
How pretty of a name I had. I was starting to feel like my best possible defense was to give in to my nausea and throw up on him. The man kept pressing me for information about myself. He wanted to know where I lived, but I tried to convince him I was from a different state and just passing through on a trip with my family. When he asked to meet my mom and I couldn't prove she was there, he showed his true nature. He suddenly revealed that he had recognized me from before. He said he'd seen me in the store a few times, and I was always alone when he saw me. He thought I was lonely. He thought I could use a friend. My world was turned on its head. How many times had I believed I was alone, only for the truth to be that I was actually being watched and tracked by this creep? I couldn't take it anymore. I flat out ignored him and walked away, putting my headphones back in so I...
Still not going to get no help is insane. I know you're only 14, but when I was 14, I was selling. When I was 14, I thought I was grown. When I was 14, I had weapons on me. Listen. All you had to do was find 14-year-old me, and this dude wouldn't have been bothering you no more. It's what I'm trying to tell you, little girl. And I said these things is getting worse. Why is Target like this? We need to... Didn't Trump put the tariffs on Target? Didn't they deny, what happened with Target? Didn't we boycott Target? We need to boycott Target again. Target ain't protecting the youth. Target ain't protecting his own employees. Who else Target ain't protect? The dude just kicked busting right into the dango, into the break room. Gay girl a bump. What was the first? I can't even remember some of the stuff. Dude got his Achilles tore off in the Target parking lot. All in the name of love. Where's Flavor Flav when you need him?
I couldn't hear him. I made my way a few sections over and hid in the women's underwear area. I wasn't.
She going over to the drawer. She wants it. Let me stop. Let me just watch the.
I flat out ignored him and walked
Why
away,
you going
putting
over
my
there?
headphones back in so I couldn't hear him. I made my way a few sections over and hid in the women's underwear area. I wasn't looking for underwear that day, but I thought it was the safest place to hide from that weirdo.
Really?
I figured if somebody saw a guy lurking around racks and racks of women's underwear, they would definitely have a problem with it. I was trying to catch my breath and settle down. That creep had given me a nasty shock. My mind was running with all the consequences of knowing he'd been spying on me. I wasn't able to go back to this Target ever again, certainly not alone. I hoped he hadn't followed me home and found where I lived. I wish I'd been more aware of my surroundings instead of sticking headphones in my ears all the time. Then, a hand cut my
I
shoulder.
knew it.
I screamed, turning around to see the same creep standing in front of me.
Man, if you don't get
His
to
other
fighting
hand
this
reaching
dude,
out to touch my face.
so you don't
I
fight.
shoved him away on instinct and sprinted away.
Where's
I
everybody
flagged down
at?
the nearest Target employee and told them I was being followed by a man I didn't know.
Really? You gonna go to the oldest lady in the store? Where is he? Hey, sweetie. Who you talking about, honey? Man, he gonna knock this old lady out. Where is security? What is wrong with this little girl? He gonna grab that old lady like this and march her out the store. He gonna put her under arrest. Look at her. Look at both of them. I can't with this girl. Listen. I know she is a kid. But when I was a kid, I jumped off the porch. I was getting it how I live, Wardy. I had soldier rags and fatigues. We actually had fatigues on, bandanas. We thought we was going to war and we was just going to school, man. I was singing, huh? What kind of boy that be full of that dro? What kind of boy that free shop like an Eskimo Juve? What kind of... Look. What kind of... Got 10 round this neck, what? 20 on this wrist, what?
No. They took me over to the manager.
Then you go get that's the manager. He looked like the manager too. The other dude looked like the CEO, the general manager of Target from the last one. This dude looked like the actual manager of Target. More kind of like the assistant manager, but he can be the manager.
Office, where they said I could stay until I got picked up, or if I wanted the manager to call the police for me. I opted to call my mom. I was already freaking out.
Call the
I didn't want the
police
added pressure
and
of
your
a bunch
mom.
of cops showing up and asking me questions. My mom was upset at me for going alone, but she promised to hold back on scolding me until I was safe. She left work early to pick me up and drop me off at home. For the rest of the day, I looked out my window, waiting for that disgusting creep to show up.
If I was the mama, I want the tape. This Target. Y'all know when somebody's stealing toothpaste, but y'all don't know this man's license plate? He walked in the store. He done already told her he was there before. So y'all got to put this dude multiple times. Send the footage to the boys. No, send the footage to the feds. We need his computer. I'm coming up to his job. We need all that, man. We coming for blood. No, we not. No, yeah, we are. I can't even sugarcoat this one. This is too much. I'm gonna cut you some slack, little girl. But if you was my daughter, You knew better than this. You'd have called your daddy immediately.
Thankfully, he never did.
Oh, this is crazy. Okay, so yeah, we gonna end that right there. That one was disturbing. That one cut a little deep. You know, I hate to see stuff like that, even in cartoon form. That wasn't cool. How you gonna animate that? That need to this. They need to show this in school, in elementary school. You know, when I was younger, we used to pull the TV out, taping the VCR. We used to have school cable too. We used to watch like Channel One. You know, you don't get no Channel One. You in school, you get a Channel Zero or a Channel One or something like that. And it, I think it was even called Channel One. Yeah, but it's just school programming, and I need to come on. I would even take it as far as during the announcements. I take this microphone right here. Yep. Put the speaker right on it and play it after the national anthem. I'm out of here. Enough is enough. Catch y'all, man. Oh yeah, God bless.